Well, good evening. My name is John McCarthy, and I serve as the Executive Director for Charlie's House. I'm pleased to be here this evening with Leslie Reardon. Leslie is a Vice President at Commerce Bank, and she's a board member for Charlie's House, and also a mother of three. I'd like to start by telling you a little bit about Charlie's House and a little bit about our request. Our mission at Charlie's House is to prevent injuries to children in and around the home. And during the next 7.5 minutes or so, we'll tell you a little bit about Charlie's story and a little bit about our greater organization. But I do want to tell you a little bit about our specific ask this evening. Our ask is for $15,000 so that we can purchase and distribute 1,000 television straps, 5,000 outlet covers, and 5,000 cabinet locks. And let me tell you a little bit about the why, the rationale. In terms of, I want to tell you a little bit about the macro and bring it back down to the micro in terms of our specific ask. A little bit about the macro and why we exist in terms of Charlie's House and the importance of preventing injuries. Here's a few statistics for you. According to Safe Kids in Kansas, nearly 2,100 children in the United States ages 14 and under die from accidental injuries in the home each year. 80% of those deaths are among children 4 and under. And another 3 million, that's 3 million children, are treated in emergency rooms each year for in-home accidents. But here's one of the most alarming facts, is the fact that most of these injuries, a very, very high percentage, are preventable. And that's why we exist, is to help prevent those injuries. Dr. Harvey Grossman is a longtime pediatrician here in Kansas City and is a member of our board. And, he mentioned to us that, he said, as a pediatrician, he said, I'm passionate about Charlie's House. He said, because this cause gets less attention than most childhood illnesses, but yet it's the most common cause in death of children between the ages of 1 and 14. So specifically, we're here to make that request, as I mentioned, for television straps, cabinet locks, and outlets. Let me throw you a couple statistics in those regards specifically. When it comes to tip-overs, when it comes to television tip-overs specifically, when I just read a Consumer Product and Safety Report that just came out this year, in the past few months. When a sentence in their executive summary starts like this, we know we have an issue and a challenge in our society. When the sentence in their executive report starts by saying, of the estimated annual average of 38,000 emergency department treated injuries and 430 reported fatalities between 2000 and 2013, specifically with tip-overs, we know we have a challenge. In terms of estimated emergency department treated injuries, 57% of them, and this is tip-overs specifically, are related to children 18 and under. In terms of fatalities with tip-overs specifically, 84% involve victims 1 month to 10 years. In terms of tip-overs, again specifically, the estimated emergency department related injuries, 56% are from furniture tip-overs, and another 41% from television tip-overs. So tip-overs, you probably read about and heard about, Leslie will speak a little bit more about, are a genuine risk and a challenge in our society. The children are getting injured, and it's much worse in our society. When it comes to cabinet locks, let me just read you something I just read on the CNN blog. They went and said this. It's a stunning statistic. Each day, roughly 4 school busloads of U.S. children, roughly 165 young kids, are seen in emergency rooms after getting into medications, and each visit is preventable. Among children who are taken to emergency room due to accidental medication overdose, 95% swallowed products while being unsupervised, according to the report. Wouldn't it be nice if we made sure those cabinets were locked? In terms of electrical shock from outlets, here's what it just said. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, each year approximately 4,000 people find themselves in emergency rooms seeking treatment for injuries caused by accidents involving electrical outlets. About 1/3 to 1/2 of those are children. Those children commonly stick some sort of metal object, such as a paper clip or spoon handle, or even their finger, into the outlet. This number may seem high, but these people are actually the lucky ones. There are several hundreds of other folks, it says, that never even make it to the emergency room. Leslie?
Thank you. As John mentioned, I do have 3 young kids, and I'm certain that each of those kids have done just about everything that John just mentioned on that list. It's really scary how young they tend to do those types of things too. I'll never forget the first time I heard Charlie's story. About 7 years ago this month, I just put my oldest, my firstborn, 6-week-old baby down for the night. Sat down to watch the 10 o'clock news on the couch and watched Krista Dubill's eyes well up with tears as she recalled the story that had happened earlier that day to Charlie Ford. Charlie was a 2.5-year-old toddler, triplet. He was home napping, was supposed to be napping. He was home with the nanny. His parents, Brett and Jenny Horn, were at work that day. And as toddlers often do, he got curious. He got out of bed. He attempted to climb a 30-inch dresser. This is a 30-inch dresser. It's about this tall. You wouldn't think it would be something that could topple over and injure a child, but it did, and it killed him. And it gets me emotional just recalling that story. It stuck with me for days. I literally went out to Babies R Us and filled a shopping cart full of child safety items the following day. I came home and demanded that my husband install these things in the house, even though my child was still a baby, couldn't move. I'm so thankful that we did. I made it my mission to make our home as safe for our children as possible. And also I made it my mission to share this story with people who would be willing to listen, other coworkers, friends who have young kids, because if you don't know that this type of thing can happen, you don't know to install the devices to prevent something like this from happening. So when I was asked to join Charlie House's board a year ago, I jumped at the opportunity. My philosophy is if I can help prevent a single injury to a single child, then it's been worth the time. Quickly, I'll just share with you a couple of recent stories of tragedies that have occurred here in the Kansas City area recently. 2 weeks ago, an 18-month-old boy was injured, taken to the hospital, and luckily survived, but after a television set that wasn't secured properly, fell off of the dresser and injured him. A month ago, an 8-month-old boy in Kansas City wasn't as lucky. Same exact situation. Television wasn't secured, fell on him. He died a few days later of his injuries that he sustained. John quoted statistics. It happens to way too many kids. And the bottom line is these things are preventable through education. That's what Charlie's House does. We educate parents and caregivers about the dangers in their own home. And if we can get us one step closer to empowering these families by providing free services, free tools for them to employ in their own homes to prevent injuries from happening to their own children, then we're really serving our mission.
Great, thank you, Leslie. I just want to read to you a couple little pieces were just sent to us recently. We've been distributing literally tens of thousands of furniture straps, which, by the way, are different than television straps, hence our request. And we've been distributing Charlie's checklists and home safety slides and loads of educational material. We've loaded up our website, etc. And I got these notes back. I just want to read a couple of quick ones to you. Lady wrote, I saw y'all, and it is written like that, by the way, y'all, on the news last night. Your organization is a godsend. I'm a single mom with a 1-year-old son, and I'm a full-time student, and I don't have the money to fully child-proof my home in the manner it should be. I'd like for you to know that because of you guys, I'm more aware of the safety precautions needed in order to protect my son from a tragic accident. You are making a difference. Next lady wrote, I'm currently receiving unemployment benefits and would like to know if I can qualify for one free television strap. I was touched and disturbed by the story of the small boy that I saw on TV where the television toppled over on him. I have a 6-year-old son and a 2-month-old son. Please send me one free television strap so I can better protect my children. My son, from another one, just started rolling around and he's rolled into the entertainment center twice, shaking the television. These are greatly needed, and I thank you for offering them. And they go on and on. I've got pages, literally, of these different testimonials of people unsolicited just writing to us. But the reality is, we don't have television straps right now. We have furniture straps, and they are different. We have educational materials, but we really urgently are trying to make sure we provide those people in need with what they really need to keep their children safe right here in our Kansas City community. And I'll finish with this. I ask you, who's your Charlie? Who's your son or daughter or grandson, granddaughter, nephew or niece that you'd like to keep safe? Knowing that most of you join this organization because you truly want to make a difference in this community. You want to impact the community, obviously. This is an opportunity to do that. One, would be great to know that you, personally, are capable and are here because you're able to save the life and save young children from being seriously injured or worse. I ask you this, what if it was your child? What if it was your child? Wouldn't you make that difference? I thank you for your time in this wonderful organization. Thank you. I guess now we take any questions.
Right here.
How do you reach out to, how do you connect with parents? What's your outreach model for connecting and sharing this information as a resource?
We realize that we can connect with different people different ways, so we handle that in a number of ways. One, we have a very active and engaged website, social media platforms, but we have an outreach arm, if you will. It's our education committee. We have about a dozen to 15 very active people in different areas of safety, whether it's pediatricians, ER docs, firemen, et cetera. And we do presentations throughout the community, and we also set up loads of safety fairs, parents as teachers, back to school fairs, et cetera. So we are literally out there. And then we have a Physicians Alliance program where we've aligned ourselves with Children's Mercy, Shawnee Mission Medical Center, something called Cradle Connect, where we've distributed thousands and thousands of our Charlie's checklists as well. So I guess the answer is it's multifaceted.
Do you have any information on what the level of compliance is for people with pictures, safety features? Are they used properly? Sometimes they can be difficult to safely use a strap like that and install one. Is there a way to?
Sure. I suppose it's difficult for us to tell who installs them properly and who doesn't. However, one of the questions that we get often is they get this little package, there's 2 furniture straps in it currently, and hopefully going forward some other materials. One, there are directions on there. However, we've found that some people would like even more than reading the directions on there. So we've made use of our YouTube channel, and if you went to our website today, in the rotator up top, you'll see a direct link right to the YouTube video that shows you how to install furniture straps. But in addition to those, a big part of our mission is to educate. So we educate in multiple different ways, in addition to furniture straps, many of the other hazards that people face, we educate as well as, we don't necessarily go out and install them for the people, but we provide the instruction on how to do it.
Do you have any agreements with the manufacturers of these straps and locks?
Yes and no. Yes, the short answer is no. But because we're buying things in volume, we get pretty good discounts, and we have had tremendous community support. When the accident initially happened, Jenny Horn, who was Charlie's mother, worked and still works at Cerner. So Cerner made a pretty large contribution to help us purchase thousands and thousands of furniture straps. So not directly the manufacturer, but because we buy in bulk, we're able to get a pretty darn good deal. For example, when you see on our projected budget here with the television straps, if you go and look at those, you're often going to see anywhere from about $11 to $15 for a typical television strap, depending on which model you look at. But we're able to get them at quite a bit less because we're looking at buying 1,000 of them as opposed to 1 or 2 or 5.
Okay, we have time for one more question, but
So how many straps and various products are you giving away now annually?
Good question. Honestly, the real answer is it depends on the year, and it depends on what product, et cetera. But using a round number, approximately 10 to 15,000 Charlie's checklists, approximately 5,000 to 7,500 furniture straps. We will get about 25,000 approximately page views on our website, which there's so many different pages of information. I won't bore you with all the details right now. But, and then roughly 5,000 what we call home safety slides as well, another educational piece. Thank you so much.